Alright, on the combustion chamber side, there's going to be some work, although not an extreme amount, because the problem is, as you can see, let's zoom in, there's the stock 305 gasket, and I mean, it almost touches a line here. I can do some modifying here for the high lift flow, and I'm contemplating carving some of this out. This right here will help where it's really pulled in, but I'm in a compression ratio glitch here where, you know, the only piston that was available was the Keith Black with a D-shaped cup, and I can't go in here playing too much. What I didn't want to do is definitely not go below 9-to-1. I'd like to try to stay around 9.5, something like that. So I'm going to do the math on it real quick, figure out how much I can remove. I know I got to slot this. I have no choice because of the valve diameter and getting it to unshroud with a higher lift cam. Now, notice how I've already got the valve in there. That's like a 187 valve. This time, though, we're using a different tool than normal, and it has to do with the chamber shape being so that it is so close to the edge in one spot. I don't want to do too much grinding. I'm using one of my fingers with a full rounded nose on it, and I'm going to let you see how I go in there and touch this up, probably on that port where you can get a better bird's eye view on it. But I'm going to go on in here and clear this first. I'll work this one first, and then I'll switch to the bigger one, probably a 3/8 egg to do the hit right here, and let that be it. We're not going to get into too much fancy because, like I said, I do not want to get below that certain point of compression with airflow mix. All right. Like I said, there's humps and ridges right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this rounded edge to come in here and the valve is 187, so that way it ain't touching a seat. It's kind of rolling. You can see where it's actually beveled, where that just kind of rides up and keeps that valve rotating. Okay. And you got to really watch that line. There's kind of a double davit right here in the middle. And what you're trying to do with this is try to level it some. Then I can take my egg and come in here and pull that back. Now what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to turn it on the other side and show you what it is I'm doing, and just so you can see this mod and so I can go on through. Okay. Now notice right here, you should be able to see the line. Let's zoom in. Alright, yeah, right here. See, I want to go in here because notice how close that valve is right there. You know, that's because of the 3774 bore, I believe, or 3776. I'm going to start here. There's a ledge. Bring that down, and I'm going to do this at about a 20 degree to 30 degree angle. Layer that back and follow that line to about there and pull it. And what that's going to do is that's going to release the air from where I did the tube. Look how close the bolt hole is and the tube. See, if you had a ruler and you followed that up, she comes straight up through there. If you don't go in here and alleviate this bottom part of the combustion chamber to match what you done with the tube, I'm not going to say it wouldn't be beneficial, but I'd be willing to say 30% at least is not being used because you don't alleviate that chunk. Alright, so anyway, this is how I do it. And let's see if I can do this without disturbing the camera. It's going to be pretty hard. Alright, now I'm going to come in. See, like I said, I'm laying it back at that 30-degree angle right there. Then I'm going to come in with another tool, maybe a ball, and hook inside there and pull that, layer it back. But the main thing is letting you see. Talking. Now it's starting to pull on and level back. I'll catch that. Just them little bitty cuts and alleviating things like that. Man, you just don't know how much difference that can make as far as horsepower. Airflow, it might show a little bit, but it's the horsepower, because remember, this is a 90-degree turn and we got atomized fuel with dry air coming in here. It's more of a wet flow thing of turning it and getting it into the bore than it is a CFM airflow thing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, alleviate it and cut it and let you get back and see what I've done. This is part, it's just too difficult to do because, man, the combustion chamber has to be so precision. You skip and go over here and you know what we've done. We have destroyed the fire ring seal where it connects. See, right here we're already into it. Alright, so let's go from there and finish up what we got so y'all can take a big look-see at this wicked 305 holder boulder. Alright, I think I showed you this, but I'll go ahead and redo it. Now right here is where I went in and cut that enormous wall. I mean, I probably removed almost 1/4 of an inch from right here there and layered it so the air in the chamber is going to benefit the straight wall. But the part I wasn't sure about, this is that rounded nose, and I'm going to come in here. There's all kinds of nasty cutter marks and everything right here on the side. So I go in here with this rounded one. And I trim all that out. Because it's kind of, like I said once again, it's kind of like painting a house. You always do the trim first and then come and get the bulk. I got this here where it's clearing out all where the valve seat rolls off into the chamber. Alright, now that that's laid into, I'm going to come back in a minute with a big burr and slice this. So I would have opened it there, pulled that in and opened it there, because this cam has about 510 lift, I believe it is, on the intake and 522 on the exhaust. It is a split ratio cam because it's using the water logs, or the water that goes through the intake manifold. Alright.